The PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360, two giants in the game console world. There is a lot of rivalry between these two consoles, and both platforms have die-hard fans who argue that their console was the best. I'm not here to settle that argument. I just know both have a great library, where the majority of the games were multi-platform, and each had their own great exclusives. If you own either or both of these consoles, then this video features games that you can buy cheaply, so you have no excuse, if you haven't done so already, not to try them. Sleeping Dogs is a 2012 open-world action-adventure game by Square Enix, and it's available for the PS3, PS4, Xbox 360, Xbox One and Windows. As the player, you control Wei Shen, an undercover Hong Kong American police officer on assignment to infiltrate the Sun On Yee Triad organization. If you've played the Batman Arkham series, then you will be familiar with his style of combat. The fighting is smooth, slick, and heavily relies on timings and counters. The shooting isn't too shabby either, with a cinematic slow motion, which helps you take down your enemies. The game is very tech heavy also, and you're required to hack into CCTV, break into safes, and set up bugs. The densely populated Hong Kong is very vibrant, and while I'm sure it doesn't aid the tourism industry, due to the amount of violence and seediness, it seems a very exciting place. I don't know how or why it's taken me so long to find this game, but I'm pleased I did because it's awesome. There is just so much to do and it's easy to get sidetracked from the main missions. However, I do think that the storyline, which means that you're an undercover cop and a gang member, is very exciting.
Looks like Dr. Sam was doing a lot of kidney transplants.
I did state in an earlier Let's Play video that this is the best £2.50 I've ever spent, and I stand by that.
What are you doing meeting 18k Red Bulls?
So at this cheap price, there's no reason why you shouldn't give it a try. Rockstar's Red Dead Redemption is a classic game and set in a western world with lovely plains.
He ponders whether a man can ever escape.
This is the standalone version that you can buy for real cheap of Undead.
Almost anything.
Well, that old man can take care of himself.
I love the original game. In fact, I think it's one of my favourite games of all time. And this adds a zombie horror themed campaign to the excellent open world of the original.
Wander down that lonely deserted street and get my back.
The game features an alternate timeline story that follows the returning protagonist and former outlaw John Marston as he seeks to find the cause and cure for the zombie plague that has affected his wife and son. It is a cliched story of corpses rising from the dead and becoming flesh-eating zombies, while the living go into hiding to survive or turn hostile.
We were boyhood friends, John.
The game still features the excellent Deadeye mechanic of the original, and is set in the beautiful western open world that is caught between progression and old-fashioned values.
What's going on?
It's the government's fault.
Ain't it always?
Well, they're letting too many foreigners. Just shut the goddamn border, or things like this happen.
Or maybe not so old-fashioned.
This is what it's come to.
You can't be serious.
Overall, this is a great add-on to an excellent game. And if you haven't played the original, well, make sure you get it and play that first. It's a lot more light-hearted than the original, due to the horror B-movie feel of the game. The standalone version can be bought for both the PS3 and the Xbox 360. And as this game can be bought for so cheap, it's a great excuse to play as one of video games' greatest characters, John Marston.
Well, John, you always do bring sunshine to my life.
Hey, you one of them, mister?
Heavenly Sword is a PlayStation 3 exclusive. It was published by Sony and developed by Ninja Theory. You were in control of the main character Noriko, who was being bestowed the Heavenly Sword and must guard it with her life. Noriko, our red-headed heroine, was born in the year of the prophesied Divine Warrior, and because she was a woman, she was deemed a mockery of the prophecy by her own clan. The protagonist is trained as a warrior by her father, who seems to be in conflict between the paternal pride of fulfilling his daughter's destiny and the resentment that his wife died giving birth to her. The game is a hack and slash affair, very similar to the God of War series, and it does have a martial art theme that is high in violence and gore. Although this game was released in 2008, the graphics still look really good. The fighting is a mix of button mashing and combo moves, and also uses the 6-axis controller for throwing projectiles, firing cannons and archery. This game is a bit of a hidden gem, as I don't think it sold enough to break even for the company. There is rumours that there could be a sequel and that the story has already been written. If you like these hack and slash type of games, then I'd recommend it highly. There is no excuse not to try it, as used copies of this game can be bought quite cheaply.
You've had your playtime. It's Kai's turn now.
And for a bit of parity, here is a Microsoft exclusive, Alan Wake. It was developed by Remedy Entertainment in 2010.
Kidnapped.
Alice?
I can't tell anyone except my agent Barry.
Damn it, Barry, the killer. You're my best friend, and I'm worried that you're not writing.
This is a psychological horror action adventure.
Oh dear, Mr. Wake. I'm so glad you're here.
Hey, Al?
The story follows the thriller novelist Alan Wake as he tries to uncover the mystery behind his wife's disappearance. The game consists of 6 episodes, and the pacing and structure is like a thriller TV series. During this psychological nightmare, Alan will fight through the shadows while finding pages of a manuscript titled Departure, which although has the author's name on it, he has never written. The game's major theme is darkness and light, which Alan will need to use a flashlight or a torch to fight his way through the hordes of shadowy creatures. You can also use flashbangs, flares and of course bullets. Alan must also run to light for safety, which can also be used as save points or checkpoints. This is a great game with a very compelling story. Although this isn't one of the scariest games out there, and it doesn't rely heavily on jump scares, there is something very unsettling and creepy about this, and it will keep you on the edge of your seat. There is a good mix of action and storytelling, and the pacing is well constructed. And of course, like all games in this video, it can be bought for cheap.
I'm so glad you could find the time to do this, Mr. Wake.
So that concludes my video for great games that there is no excuse not to try for the PS3 and Xbox 360. If you found this helpful and maybe even a little entertaining, then please give that like button a press and or leave a comment. Please subscribe for more future content. Thanks for watching.